What is up, everybody? It's the Inhuman one here, and today we're going to continue our Stellar Blade skin suit only challenge run. Now, I do have a confession. Over the course of the weekend, all the way through yesterday, I did grind and beat it off stream, although it was recorded, so that I could complete a story explained video. That video is up on my main channel now, and I will say that by far, Stellar Blade is my 2024 game of the year. It's an excellent game, and all jokes aside, as it pertains to Eve's looks and stuff like that, I mean, that is just a silly notion in itself, but the game is amazing. It's really good. It's got an excellent story, shockingly. It feels very complete. All of the quests, feel meaningful in some way, and I just absolutely love how they executed everything from start to finish. Not to mention the excellent combat. The combat is some of the best I've experienced in quite some time from a cinematic perspective. Also, the challenge really does ramp up, and the difficulty does ramp up exponentially near the end of the game, especially if you're running skin suit only, because I beat it using skin suit only on my playthrough for the sake of getting the footage. And there were some sequences at the very end that I was like, wow, this is quite the challenge. But anyways, we're going to continue our journey today and see where it takes us. As I mentioned earlier, this is not necessarily a 100% type playthrough or anything like that. We're just going to have some fun, explore what we can, and ultimately beat the game as quickly, well, not as quickly as possible, but swiftly, I should say. Anyway, so one thing that I will mention as it pertains to the level design is, although it's semi-open world, it's actually pretty good. There's not a lot of things you're going to be missing because the side quests will push you in the direction of things that were previously inaccessible. So we're going to be heading to a construction site right now.
We've come quite far. How much more do we have to go?
We just have to pass that sewage facility. There must be a way to get across. We can build ourselves a bridge if we use that crane.
I anticipated this was going to be a much harder section, and as it pertained to like moving the bridges and stuff, or those big beams, but it's not so bad. It's not so bad at all. Always follow the drone when he starts kind of scanning like that. They're going to lead you to a camp or any point of interest, and then you can kind of start looking around comfortably. Well, I'm going to give you guys as many tips as I can along the way, because I've already beat the game, and I've beat it using the skin suit only on the standard difficulty. So, as I mentioned, it does get much more difficult in the end game for sure. But in general, like I said, the game does a really good job of leading you to the right places and rewarding you for exploration. Alright.
Adam, I have a question.
What is it?
The hypersol. If it sustained the Hall of Records until now, it must be a huge source of energy.
Yes. Even compared to a fusion cell.
Then where are you planning to use this energy?
Oh, well, it's kind of a long story. But I can explain more when you come back.
Understood. Loud and clear.
Essentially, this is when you come back, meaning like when you get back to the tetrapod, which is like his ship. He's gonna make mention of something that's really important and the true use and purpose of the hypercell. Alright. There's like 13 or up to, I don't think it's 13 or 15 levels of upgrades. I maxed out pretty much everything. I nearly have 100% of the game on my other playthrough. I just had to rush through this area known as the Great Desert, and that's the only area I actually skipped things in. So pretty much, or pretty thorough in every other regard. Okay, so now that we're here, what we're gonna do, we're gonna head over to the right first. In this section, there's going to be a few things that we can nab, including some cans of soda. Uh-oh. Kind of ran right into that one, didn't I? like I said, the difficulty is going to ramp up like never before. This is actually a case that we cannot open yet.
Oh, it's a high security box sealed. There should be some treasure inside. We ought to be able to open it with the drone's hacking tool. I think it needs an upgrade first, though.
Yep, so we have to invest in those points. Another thing that, as I said, like I strongly suggest you do is ping every once in a while, and once you're able to update and upgrade your drone, that scanning, updating the frequency of the scan and reducing the cooldown is going to be paramount, especially if you're going for 100% or just trying to get everything possible. So I like to break the boxes. You get some additional gold and stuff along the way, but here we're going to head this way later on. There's not really much here other than this area. There's like a little pile of rubble you're going to want to climb up. And there's this pole here. And we're going to swing over. Oh, lovely. I'm going to attack in the back. Missing all my timing. I didn't warm up or anything. Just kind of playing fresh. Alright, so ping. See if there's any items of interest around. And then we just keep working our way up. Eventually, there you go. Make sure you get really used to those timings and the movement patterns of the enemies, because eventually you get beefed up versions of nearly every enemy out there. We got lucky there, we didn't get hit. I healed in the most precarious of positions. But here's a soda can we can collect. This is going to be one of the many collectibles that we obtain along the way.
It looks intriguing.
There you go.
Look into it later.
So you can collect cans, and they're going to be hidden everywhere. That's actually a location that they just showed you right there. Kind of neat. As you collect more cans, you're going to gain rewards, and eventually there'll be an opportunity for you to build a like a vending machine that shows them off in your collection. Ultimately, you get a bunch of different upgrades for how many slots you can hold consumables in, and a nano suit at the very end if you collect them all. So this is one of the upgraded versions of these bros here. Oh gosh, I forgot how unupgraded I am. The Cricket Butcher. This is the variation of the cricket enemy. Alright, now we got this chest.
ID card. Let's keep it for now.
Excellent, okay. We are going to need that. Right now, he's kind of like, wow, oh, that's interesting, but we're actually going to need that for later, so. You can then drop down this right here, and that takes us right out to the beginning. So that's our save point up ahead. Now what we can do is we can actually come around here. I'm not sure if you guys caught a glimpse of it, but there is a robot. Always keep your distance after it's destroyed. You can pick up things like tumbler expansion modules, things like that. That's your... I didn't know what that was referring to, but that's essentially your heals, right? So right now we can heal a total of 3 times. Well, once you get nice and upgraded, you can actually upgrade or heal, or use consumables to heal up to, I think, 9 to 10 times. Alright, so this is a lot of the Legionnaires are kind of just complaining about stuff. I mean, I know it sucks and they're dead and all that, which is quite unfortunate. But they usually are talking about loved ones or things that we just aren't really privy to. So if it's something that's relevant story-wise, I'll make sure I let you guys know. But yeah, it's just collectibles more than anything. Make sure you get used to those abilities. They're going to be incredibly important later on. Always ping if you're not sure, but this is just a stone, as you can tell. Otherwise it will indicate enemy and also have like a red outline. So this is an enemy as well. They also have a different color to them. You can usually just tell visually. Nice. We'll go ahead and open up this chest. This is not a level 2 type chest, so we can just open it right up. Alright, and then again, if you're ever unsure, you just ping and make sure you didn't miss anything. Essentially, we're going to be coming right back around to the save point right here. I'd be interested to know if you guys are looking forward to a walkthrough. It wouldn't quite be a 100% walkthrough, but I'd probably jest and call it like a 99% walkthrough, where I show you guys just about everything in nearly every collectible. So it'd be all the quests, side quests, etc. But I'm interested if you guys would like to see that, because after I do the, the quote-unquote challenge run, I would love to, do a walkthrough if you guys would like to see that. Making lemonade from lemons. Hello, how are you? I'm doing great. I'm doing really good. I'm just hungry. I'm like starving already. So that's my only complaint. But other than that, I'm doing fantastic. Again, save point. You can always come back here. If you do rest, you will have the Nightibas respawn. So you have to be careful, and rest strategically. But we've already used 2 of our healing cells, so I would like to go ahead and heal. This is a tumbler enhancement, so guess what? We're going to have 1 more use. So now our rechargeable tumbler, which is our heals, have increased from 3 to 4. So you want to make sure you find those robots. Primarily, that's where you're going to be finding those upgrades anyway. So it's pretty important. So one thing you can do here is this is actually going to trigger the cutscene where he says, "Oh, hey, we're going to need to create an ID card so we can activate this device." So we'll go ahead and do that just for the sake of. You can't use it right now, but if you look on screen, there's different camera angles and 2 beams that we're going to control. I thought we were going to have to do some crazy combination of moving things around, but you really don't have to.
We need an ID card if we want to operate. 3 of them, actually.
We have 1 already. We got 1 from immediately after we rested the camp.
Cards are needed for the crane, and they should be nearby.
So we're good to go.
The closest one first.
There are 2 more in the same construction zone, and we're going to find those really quickly. Remember, this is the point that we're at. I did want to show you guys something here in a little bit, actually. But what we're going to do is you can drop down. Once you activate the crane, up here is where you actually gain access to the bridge, so you don't have to worry about that. You can drop down, grab this really quickly, and then we're going to come up here. But yeah, if you guys want like a walkthrough or anything, I'd be more than happy to do one. I'm probably going to do one anyways, but I'm contemplating whether it should be 100% or not. 100% is kind of rough, some of the collectibles and some of the backtracking. But I got almost 100% on my first playthrough as it was, so. The guy's just making noise for no reason. Okay, so we're going to go around, but not yet. You can go up this to face off with some of those creatures. What I'm going to try and do... Oh, I don't have that yet. I forget that I'm not quite upgraded. And I've been playing in my other profile, so that's going to take some adjusting. I just have the basics right now. That's all you need, but it does make a difference. Remember, once you destroy their shields, they're going to be stunned, even if they're mid-strike, and that works for bosses as well. So, it does pay off to be or stay on the offensive. Oh, lovely. Thank you, sir. A walkthrough I could come back to once I get a place would be nice. Okay, yeah, I'll do it then. I'll do a walkthrough. The biggest thing in my head right now is I'm trying to figure out whether I want to do a 100% walkthrough or not. I'll do one that certainly has every single quest and side quest, which would be sufficient. I mean, you're going to get nearly every upgrade and almost every collectible as it is, but you wouldn't get all the cans, things like that, so I'm still thinking about that. But that'd be awesome. Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. This is one of my favorite types of codes. You just have to press the arrows on the D-pad in the same sequence you see. And there's higher difficulty versions of these breaching chests as well, which we'll find later. But here goes. Those are a lot easier once they're fixed, but sometimes it has you have to press the corresponding lit up one, which is random. That's a lot tougher. That is much tougher. Okay, so we got just a chest that was, full of goodies, not necessarily the key card that we're looking for. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop down, and then we'll activate this lift. This will take us up to the top, and there'll be a few enemies guarding another chest. This chest, of course, is going to be one that has our intended item, but we have to be careful because nothing's free. We get a nice view. I'm not being stupid. There's actually a nice view. There are two nice views in this scene.
I wonder what it looked like before the war.
That Ferris wheel's important for later.
What do you think it looked like?
Well, probably upright buildings, a marble floor, and living people.
That's it? You have no imagination. Then again, I guess you've never been here before.
But yeah, you can see it's just fallen in ruins.
Crystal clean air, and people smiling everywhere you look.
Have you ever seen something like that before, Adam?
Yes, a long time ago.
So there you go. Again, you can even sit here for some additional dialogue if you like.
Hey, are you ready to leave?
I just wanted to imagine.
There's two nice views. I kid you not.
It's hard to imagine. Let's go.
From a non-jokey perspective, this game has some amazing visuals. Like, it's so crispy and smooth in terms of graphics. Like, they did so good on the way this game looks. Now, obviously, if you have a proper set of armor on, it's not nearly as, like, whatever, controversial. I don't even like using that word, but as people say. But this game has some great action and amazing lore. I was very surprised about the lore, and that's one of my favorite things to really look into. So we're gonna do one step further though. Instead of just ending here, we can obviously drop down and do whatever else, but we're gonna go here instead. And this is kind of like the intent. My bad. So there's an upgrade that we're gonna get that I don't have yet. So my bad. But you can still air dash, so make use of the air dash. It does look great. It really does. Like, when I was editing the video, I was like, wow. Even though I don't have like necessarily like the best editing software that like makes it captures it at like a good quality, but sometimes it doesn't render it at a good quality. I was shocked at how crispy it was. I was like, wow, this looks beautiful. And the action, it's like the scenes just are so smooth. It's like Bayonetta on steroids, but then it has like better lore in my opinion. And it's not so restrictive as like maybe a Devil May Cry type game where you have the cinematic combat. Because I always feel really restricted. On the Devil May Cry reboot, I felt like the combat was superior to any of the core Devil May Cry games. And that's probably a hot take, as people say, but I know it's true. You can just move a little bit looser. So yeah, here they're just questioning humans. Why are they attacking humans? Where did they come from? Is this part of their instincts? That's actually really interesting because maybe he's on to something there. A lot of the dialogue choices, like, they don't necessarily add too much value. It's just more so someone expressing their final moments before they die, and it's the form of a collectible. But I will say that there's going to be a much heavier emphasis on collecting documents and memory sticks and things of that nature as we progress, because that is one way actually that you unlock a secret and true ending, which I was able to get on my first playthrough. The funny thing is, I've already done this challenge. As of yesterday, I did the the skin suit only challenge. So, spoiler, it can be done, but it gets hard. It gets very difficult. So we're gonna head over here now. Remember, ping if you ever get a little sidetracked or you're just not sure where to go. We're gonna grab some of these additional items. It's great for wall hacking and seeing things that wouldn't normally be visible. This is the other side of where the robot was. So just to kind of give you guys some perspective of how everything links together. Now, I will say, we'll take out this enemy and then we'll kind of go into what I'm going to talk about, but it's kind of interesting. This guy's not that easy, especially with what I'm working with right now. Okay, but if you can hear, there's always audio cues and things like that. There's definitely a body nearby, so there's probably a core, right? Whether it be a beta core or a body core. One thing that I found out here is that you don't have to wait for a specific upgrade. You can actually kind of, I don't know, game the system here and do this. You're not supposed to be able to do this, actually, because if you try and jump from the bottom, you won't be able to. But that gives us just the height we need to make this maneuver here. So we're going to get jacked up as soon as we get up. But that's what we'll do, just to throw him off. In my opinion, the shot grenades are by far the most effective items in the game. In the end game, it was something that I was using to just absolutely make a mockery of some of the bosses that were otherwise relentless. So save up on those, stock up on those. That's why it's important to open every chest you can, and then you can feel free to spend money in this game. I typically don't, and I had accrued quite a bit of money before I started using it, but the shot grenades were something that I enjoyed using on boss fights. I typically don't use them in encounters, but boss fights, absolutely. So anyways, we got that kind of early. That's not something you would normally get right now, or this early, but hey, I think it's fine. So what we want to do, though, is make this jump here. There you go. And we're going to come right over, and we're going to take out these enemies. Oh, he's just chilling. I thought he was going to attack me, but he didn't. He knew better. He knew better than to get crazy with me. So we're going to look here. It's always good to see, like, look, there's going to be an enemy here. So just a good opportunity to know when to dodge. And just so you know, as soon as you clear the threshold, just spam dodge, because otherwise you will get hit. These enemies are incredibly fast. And reacting is probably going to be very difficult to do. You have to be a little proactive with those dodges. Crimson Tier, so you get different necklaces, and they don't add, to my knowledge, any value to your armor, but they certainly do, you know, add to the customization. Yeah, he was scared. He knew better. So if you ever don't know where to go, then you know you can just kind of look around and tag your drone. So we've got 2 out of 3. The hints are kind of annoying. They're not annoying, actually. They're actually incredibly helpful if you don't know where to go, but it's annoying to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that in the settings. I don't need the hints. You know, like we've been doing this for a while, right? We do this for a living. So yeah, the hints are really good, though. They do say, hey, if you're stuck, you know, you can try here. So, as I mentioned earlier, the objectives, right here, you see it's like 38 paces away. It's important because... I was trying to be aggressive there, but that didn't work. It's important because you're going to have main or primary objectives, which are going to be usually gold or yellow in color, and then you're going to have your side quests, or, you know, your secondary objectives, which are typically like this blue or green color. I don't know, I'm colorblind-ish. I'm not colorblind, but sometimes I feel like I am. Anyway, so now we're going to go this way. A bunch of enemies here, and another that we can actually get the drop on, but I don't like projectile enemies, so I'm going to prioritize him first. Now he's dead with the triangle combo, and then we can take out his friend. We'll spam that because I lack the courage to fight him like a real man. Perfect. So there's a handful of bodies here we can search. They're going to be legionnaires. Now, this is important. I'm going to read this one. Athena 82's order. Codename Gigas has finally been sighted. Sharing coordinates now. For reference, Gigas is stronger than any Nativa we've encountered so far. Team Athena, get ready and head to the operations site. So, if you notice the name of my stream today, it might be a little hint and what you can plan to expect. So yeah, again, I just really enjoy this game. It's just by far my game of the year. I was so impressed. I thought it was going to be very mid. Very, oh no, I don't have that ability either. I thought it was going to be very decent, right? But I just didn't realize how polished it was going to be. It's incredibly polished. I'm going to take this guy out pretty quickly, otherwise we'll die. So once we go to our camp again, I am going to look into what skill points I can spend. Because I'm hurting right now. I need to know what skills I have anyways, because I am making the mistake of assuming I'm upgraded, and I'm fighting like I'm upgraded, and that's why I'm getting caught by certain attacks that normally wouldn't get me. So here's the third ID card. All right.
Now use them on the panel.
You're gonna want to, farm up all the gold you can, all that good stuff. There was one other area that I was interested in looking at for you guys. Oh, right here. You just have to go out. Oh, yeah, that's right. You have to go out. That's right. But this right here is where you're going to want to swing on. And you actually want to go to that very, very top level right there. And remember, you can dash. This will allow you to get like all the goodies. So when we drop down, I almost died. When we drop down here to this level, we can actually turn back, grab these little items, and then we're going to be getting all the chests and stuff here in just a moment. So get all the gold. And remember, just ping if you ever want to see what it is you might be missing. And the chests, for the most part, have materials that you can use to either craft nano suits or to purchase materials based on the currency that the merchant accepts. Most of them accept gold. There are some that accept different parts you can find in an area that we're going to discover a little bit later. You know what? There's actually something up there that we need to grab. I heard the audio key for it. It seems like it's a body core, so we're going to go and grab that. It made sense because when I was swinging, I saw something behind me, a platform behind me when I was swinging at the very highest, when I get to the highest level. But you can probably hear it. It's like a glowing, like aura sound or something. Let's see, can I get up there? Ow. Maybe not. Yeah, I don't think I can because I can't climb up there. So that's interesting. I swear I see the aura though, but that's okay. Maybe it's in my head. So now we just return. We have all three. I mean, see, it's just so strange to me. I swear that it's there, but maybe not. Okay, I'm just crazy. Now we have all three parts, or all three ID cards anyway, so we can activate the crane. I thought this was going to be like a really tricky sequence, but it's not so bad. I'll show you guys how to move them. That way you can reach the other side. It's actually pretty simple. I was overcomplicating it, as per usual. So I just kept this angle here, to be honest, and I just lowered it. I moved it over right here, and then I lowered it. So let me see. There you go. That's the sweet spot right there. And honestly, it doesn't matter how much you lower it. It can go to the bottom level. The key is you just want to be able to reach this other side. There you go. And that's it. So now I didn't have to use any other angles. The other angles were actually quite confusing. So we're going to go to this repair console. There's nothing we can really expand upon here, so that's fine. We're going to look at our skills, see how many skill points we have. Only 3, so nothing too crazy. So let's take a look at some of our survivability here. Repulse would be nice to have now. That's blink, perfect dodge, and repulse. Okay, we want repulse. That way I can at least dodge any type of attack. It wants me to train the skill, that's fine. We'll do that real quick. A little bit of a tutorial. Alright. Actually, we can just leave it. I know how to do it, so. All you do is you hold back and circle whenever you see the purple glow versus the blue glow where you lean forward and press circle. So, easy enough. Let's see, I had 2 more skill points. I think ambush would actually be quite useful. I didn't upgrade ambush or unlock it for a long time, but it's actually not bad. Okay, that's what we're going to save up for next. And then we can take a look at some of these others. Okay, so we just need a whole bunch of skill points. We're going to be getting a ton. We're going to rest, and then we'll be heading across the makeshift bridge that we just made. So now that we've rested, we're good to go. We're going to come up here on this ladder. Alright. And all you do is jump up here. Actually, you don't even have, well, that's fine. I didn't lower it enough. Matter of fact, because I saved, it reset the position, I just noticed. So that's good to know. It reset the position of those beams, see? Oh no, there's little demons down there. There you go. And we'll move this one. That's funny. I was hoping that would actually stay there. I didn't think it was going to be moved at all. No, what are you doing? Okay. Okay. I think the height should be the same. I lowered them to the max because I just want to have them to where they're pretty much at ground level, but I should be able to reach them from here. Okay, good. Good. Now we jump across here. And we make one more jump and we're done. So that was the tough part there.
We'll find the Alpha as soon as we get through this place.
Go ahead and activate the supply camp before we continue onward. There are tons of secrets in this area. This is like the sewer system, and once we emerge, we'll be on the other side, and that'll kind of open up some major areas for us in terms of where we're going to be exploring next, and even give us access to a sort of hub area. Now that we have the ambush, we're going to be able to kill enemies in one hit. And this is something that I wish I knew about earlier, how I would say convenient it is to have that ability. Because that is something that you definitely want to do with the higher level enemies. You can virtually kill any enemy in one hit as long as you ambush them. So alright, so those crickets are down. If I recall correctly, this chest is not something we can open just this moment. Oh, it is. Great, it's a breaching one. I love these. But like even something as simple as this, like the puzzles, although there's plenty of them, they're not repetitive because there's different types, and they often throw them in like a nice pacing so that you don't encounter the same types all the time. They change it up just enough. Just little things like that that really improve the quality of life of the game, and want you and I guess encourage you to want to explore and open up every chest to see, hey, what could I get this time? Here's another core just outside on this little cliff here. we'll be getting tons of body cores. Your health and your beta cores actually increase a lot. So by the end of the game, you're going to be feeling very powerful. But at the same time, your enemies are going to be meeting you like pretty much pace for pace. So it does get quite difficult. Again, with the skin suit only, near the end, I was surprised at how much of a challenge it was. I thought it was going to be a cakewalk, but the second half of the game, in certain areas in particular, were much more difficult than anything else. Bosses near the end of the game can beat you in like 1 to 2 hits, so it gets fun. It's nice and fun. So here you kind of get a sneak peek of what's to come. A cricket or the dead body. Here's a robot. Another robot we can break for some unique items and tumbler expansion modules, which we know are very important, right? So here you see that there's some goodies just around the way. So we're going to dive. Like I said, always be sure to ping. And pinging, of course, just means like you're scanning the environment, right? So that's one thing that you want to do so you can ensure you get everything possible. Alright, so now we can swim across and we'll be making our way around. As you know, this was like the path that's kind of showing, this is up ahead. So instead we're going to go around. We came from the left here. That's where the chest is that we just opened. So we'll be coming this way instead. Always ping if you're unsure or if you just want to make sure you don't miss anything. This part's fun because there's going to be an enemy here that's quite annoying. So we want to follow our drone friend. To the right there's going to be a projectile flinging cricket, which I'm going to actually attack now because if not, if he's awake, it becomes more of an issue. So let's take him out right now. If you allow him to wake up and then you try and explore over here, it's going to be a real pain because he's incredibly accurate and he doesn't have much recovery time in between his shots. So, alright. Jump and dash, and then we're just going to jump up here, climb around the corner, and then we're going to kind of shimmy our way to the next level. Alright. So here, when we drop down, as you can tell, the intended path is this way, right? So you always want to go the opposite of the intended path if your goal is to kind of explore and collect all the things possible, right? So we know that's the way they want us to go, so go the opposite way. Or go the only other way that's available to you. So this is the body core, or beta core, whatever it may be, that we could see from down below in the water. So we're going to go ahead and collect this. Got an extra beta core. Now one more before our max beta energy increases, which is fantastic. So again, you can ping. There's nothing here. If you ever see those red triangles, that means that's death or it's like a bad area to walk in. If you will ping again once it's done preparing, and the white X's, for example, mean you can walk there. It's fine. Shayla says, I always thought that I would prefer laid-back games since I was partly using games to help deal with anxiety, but I find I enjoy the challenges of the harder games. That's interesting. You know, the funny thing is, yesterday, I was on the verge of tears. I'm not even going to lie. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Not because the game was hard. The game, in general, was hard, but it was very enjoyable. But I had to record in certain sections because I was taking notes so that I understood what was going to be present in each part of the video so that I could write my script more effectively. And that's something that I've been doing for the Story Explained videos because they're just very, very time consuming. They're huge, huge projects. And so I somehow, I was just exhausted because I had been playing since like Friday and like staying up late and everything. And on the very last part 13 of my video, I didn't save it properly. So I was like, oh my gosh, the end, which shows the true ending, and it shows everything like, skin suit only stuff. I was like, it's all gone. And I was just devastated. But my wife actually helped me find a way to recover it, and I don't know how it's even possible, but it was there, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I was literally on the verge. So I understand. I definitely understand like how even something like a game can be either, it can either add to your stress or take it away, you know? For sure. Okay, that's where they want us to go. So as you can tell, the point of interest is getting closer and closer. So let's just take a look up here real quick. You know, but I agree with the challenge of those games. Oh, maybe not. It just wants me to go here. So instead, I guess we could drop down and see what they got. Uh-oh, I'm dead. I missed the cord. Lovely. Lovely. You know, a lot of people like to play what they call like cozy games, you know, and those are kind of, to me, those are very stressful, where you have to manage your resources and like build a farm, and you know, that gets really stressful for me, because it's like, man, you gotta keep in mind all these different factors. You gotta, you know, build for your food, and I don't know, you gotta search for water and all these resources. I'm like, that's really stressful. I don't see how people enjoy that. It's fun to an extent, but man, it's like I have to do that every day. I gotta find food and forage, and I'm like, I don't want to do that in a game too. Worry about food and water and temperature and clothing. It's like, shoot, gotta do that every day. So to me, that's not very relaxing or therapeutic. A game like this, where I can immerse myself in a different world, one that is just kind of interesting, has new rules and different parameters, that to me is just amazing, and that's what, to me, what I like about the experience. And I tend to like challenging games, because other games in general are, it's not like a, can I beat this game? It's more like, okay, so when I beat this, you know. So that's why I always like to add some self-imposed challenges. I think challenging yourself always makes you, I think it gives you some value too. Like if you can manage the stressful part of it, I think it's good to be able to push yourself constantly, even in something as simple as a game. For sure. Glad your wife was able to help recover the files. I really don't like editing. Oh my gosh. I don't either, actually. It's one thing that I would like to hand off at some point. I don't have the means to do that right now. Like I couldn't afford an editor right now. You know, like every cent I make, I have to use to survive. But if I ever make it that big, like I might get an editor. But the only problem is, I just don't think that they would have the same vision for me in terms of like what parts I want to incorporate in the video, and the syncing up in the way that I would do. So it's like, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like I might have an editor for like some of my other channels, or like this channel, for example, or something smaller. But if it's the main thing, it's like, let me just handle it. It's not a control thing, more so it's like, that's my baby and my vision. You know, I have a very specific vision for how I want the content to be shown, and so I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's like, well, this is what you chose, brother. There's a body 15 meters away. Okay. Interesting. Come on. Hit me. Sound like Morpheus. Quit trying to hit me and hit me. Yay. Yeah, I think the challenges take me out of my head and have to focus on... Yeah, exactly. And it's funny because, like, typically the challenge is making something more difficult. Something that would normally be, like, pleasant. Like, oh, I'm playing a game and it's fun and easy. But sometimes, you know, whenever you add that extra layer, I agree. Like, it just helps you kind of free your mind for a bit, you know, from everything you got to... I mean, everybody's got something to handle and deal with and whatever, responsibilities. But it's nice to kind of just immerse yourself in it. It's fun. It's fun because these worlds, these game worlds, they can operate off of way different principles than what you're used to. So it's like, ooh, this is cool. I can do this here and this here. And then you add the challenge part of it, just more so... I just do that for my own personal... Like, it's just fun to me. And then you have like a really good experience, something that's memorable, you know? Like, this game is fantastic. I had no clue that it was going to be this good. I was actually concerned that it would be kind of subpar. I thought it was going to be eye candy, and that was, and have decent combat. And no, it's far beyond that. It exceeded my expectations, and I was so happy that it did. I was just so happy about how it turned out. And the lore, I was just really impressed.
It's not working.
So we're going to have to power this. It's like a floodgate. Not quite a sluice gate.
Can't do it manually without the key.
I wonder where the key is. Oh, I missed my timing because I'm a fool. His is the only one that I always jump a little too early. But that's my fault.
That's it. That's our key.
We found the key, just 2 feet away. So we're good here. Everything's looking nice and crispy. Very good, very good. Now we can go ahead and use the key to activate this little... It's like a floodgate type deal. We're in a sewer, or like a... Essentially it's a sewer, yeah. It's like we're managing like the sewage systems and all that. So now that we've increased the water level...
There isn't enough water.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. We have to dive down to open
Oh, okay, good. I should be able to just dive down. Alright, so now you can ping, see if there's anything good down here. Sometimes you get, just little things, but Vitcoins, believe it or not, are actually important. It's how you can purchase things like nanosuits from merchants, things like that. Other cosmetics as well, so Vitcoins they're good. You want the Vitcoins. So we're going to dive. And this is the human that we saw on the other side that was 15 meters away from the other side of that wall. I've loved watching gameplay for this game. Yeah, it's really good. This is honestly my favorite game of the year. This is my game of the year, without a doubt. And the funny thing is I'm just so accustomed to not playing with armor on that I wonder how easy it actually is and how hard I made it for myself, because I've never had the benefit of using shields, right? So there's shields, and just like the enemies, and then you have your health. Well, I've never had, for one moment, any portion of shields. So I can only imagine the end game would have been significantly more easy without, with shields. So I was struggling with some of those last bosses. One of them took me about 40 minutes to beat. And I was beyond my deadline because I did a lot of things this week
You can get out by going back to where you started.
that interfere with my normal schedule. But I was like, well, whatever. Sometimes you gotta just balance some things out. But it was tough. I didn't get to grind as much as I wanted in terms of like just being able to finish it quickly. So there was a lot of interruptions, but it was all good stuff. So now that we've raised the water, we can go up. And the drone does a really good job of showing you where to go. And then whenever you're in the open world segments, there's a lot of good areas you can, the map is pretty solid. There could be some slight improvements on the map just for quality of life. Like maybe being able to mark things on the map would be nice. Just because sometimes you don't know exactly where a sub area is, and you might have a passcode for a chest, and you're like, well, heck, I don't know where to go. So that's one of my only things. Like being able to mark it would be nice. You mark an area or a chest on a map, and say, okay, now I know to come back here at some point, or I have a few passcodes. Maybe I can go back now and explore. So this is not what you open. We did get that robot. The robot. And now we've made our way out of the sewers. This is one of, this sequence right here I thought was really exciting. Yeah, it is.
What's a drop pod doing there?
It was abandoned a long time ago. Matter of fact, it's what made this crater.
Wait, that's a 5th Airborne Squad drop pod.
Let's take a closer look.
All right. So you can ping. I don't think there's anything in the water. Yeah, not that it's just a human near the water. I actually came back for him because later at some point you have to return to that pod if you want on for a side quest. But we've got plenty of skill points now. I love that. That means there's one that I actually wanted to unlock earlier than usual, which of course I did ambush. So I'm happy about that. But there's another skill that does tons of damage, and it's actually part of your dash. So this right here, the Infinite Rush, you can actually do like a chain, and it's incredibly powerful. Like it eats up so much, I guess, shield. And once the shield's depleted, it does a ton of damage. So it's something that I'm going to kind of maximize right now. And then I'm going to work on the beta charges. I think in my first playthrough, I more so prioritized the beta charges. And you can almost unlock... I think I did unlock just about everything. All these nodes here. There's just a few that I just didn't care to spend points. And I have like, I think 15 points unspent. So you have plenty to use. They are plentiful. Interesting. And the 5th Airborne Squad was, of course, an earlier squadron. Alright, so we're all good. We've rested. We have our heals restored. Now it's time to face off with Gigas, the titular character of this stream. This was a really good boss fight. I'd say all the boss fights are pretty phenomenal. This one was pretty fun, though.
Let's see what's here.
Wait. I hear something.
What could it be? Gigas, perhaps?
Eve, look up!
Oh, no. Remember, Alpha Nativas are unique. No ice. Get him, Eve. As per usual, I always like to, at least one time, lower the, oh gosh, lower them down or do that retribution. Ugh, I don't know why I didn't dodge that. I was mid-combo, so my bad. I haven't fought him since Friday night, so relearning his pattern won't be too bad, though. He's not nearly as fast as some of the other bosses. He does telegraph pretty well. Yeah. Alright, time to win. Look at that shield damage, love it. Didn't time that right. All missed opportunities, that's okay though. He missed. I wonder if it was just that first attack that was the one I had to worry about in terms of the unblockable attack or not, but I'm dead. That's interesting. So when he does that, normally it's just the one attack, but he had like a little combo, so I don't know if I could block behind that. I'm sure I could, or parry. My parry timing sucks, but we'll get it down. Alright, Eve, let's do this. I don't know why I couldn't hit him there. It's weird. I'm missing all those for some reason. I don't like that. Mid-heal there, that's unfortunate. Oh, I tried. That's a tough one to time. I do want to get the parry or the retribution, so I'm gonna kind of make sure I don't go too far and kill him. I need to make sure he doesn't kill me. Alright, now this will deplete the shield. Now it's a matter of getting their parries in. Let's heal. And get the retribution, and then we'll finish them off. Look at that. That's just insane. Get him, Eve. Crunch. Now we ripped out his alpha core. That was amazing. Gets me every time. Gigas. So that was that. I'm glad we got the retribution too. I want to do that for every boss. Just like in my previous playthrough. It's fun to showcase for you guys too. Alright, we got the alpha core.
My goodness. I can't believe this.
This is the Alpha Nativa. You can tell by looking at its core.
Alpha Core. Eve. There's something you need to know.
Uh-oh.
The truth is,
Hello? Here! Can somebody rescue me?
And guess who this is?
In the pod. If you're there, please.
Eve just rips this thing off. Lily pops out like a jack-in-the-box.
a survivor from the airborne squad.
Were you the one who sent the rescue signal? Huh? Yes. Yes, it was me.
You're a member of the 7th Airborne Squad, right?
Yes.
Better believe it.
And you?
Right. Let me introduce myself. I'm an engineering support of the 5th Airborne Squad. Lily Artemis II. You can just call me Lily.
Alright, so now we're going to talk with Adam at the tetrapod and kind of just join forces. I'm curious to know like what would happen if I made certain decisions when I'm prompted with his choice, but we'll have to do that in an experimental playthrough.
Then you met us.
Yes. Thank you so much for saving me. I've been waiting a long time for the next squad to come in. It's been really lonely here.
It's really lucky we were able to find you when we did.
Eve, you're from the Airborne Squad Assault Force, right?
Yes.
Then I can be your engineering support. Of course, I will need proper equipment first.
Equipment? Well, I did want to say something earlier.
What is it?
Actually, there's a city where other survivors, besides me, live.
What? Really?
It's called Zion, humanity's last city. If we go there, there might be people that can help us. I have a safe house with some equipment I bet you would want.
Then let's head there quickly.
Quickly.
I would like to ask you something. Currently, Zion is holding out under the guidance of Oracle, who is also our spiritual leader. It's complicated. Eve, I imagine completing your mission isn't any easier now you lost your confidence. So, please, help me save Zion. If you do, I promise Oracle and I will do everything we can to help you on your mission. It's about joining forces and helping each other, just like we did before. Sound good?
See, I wonder, what if I said do not cooperate? It's interesting.
Thanks to teamwork, I was able to get the Alpha Core.
Maybe we can get more information in the city, Eve. Think about it.
Yes, I suppose there's no reason to say no. However, I want to decide after hearing the story from that person you're calling Oracle.
That shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, I can definitely get behind that idea.
Well, guess that settles that. Alright then. Let's
To Zion we go. Alright, so Zion, once we arrive, it's pretty... At first, you kind of are overwhelmed by how big it is, but it's actually not. There's a few main alleyways that you want to stick to, and there's a few NPCs that if you're interested in completing side quests, we can communicate with. I don't know, other than, of course, the bulletin board quest, things like that, we might do some side quests as well, just to kind of give you guys an idea and also to level, because like I said, at the end, being skin suit only is going to be quite difficult, because I've already done this using only the skin suit, and I was struggling with some of the last few bosses, so it's something that it would be in our best interest to at least explore some of these things. So, and it's a good opportunity for me to show you guys the city as well.
It's surprising to see a city in a place like this.
During its prime, over 100,000 people called it home.
100,000.
Obviously, now there are fewer. The place you see below is my safe house. The auxiliary engine's output is weak, so things can get bumpy. Hold on tight.
So we land, and then we'll be going to the presence chamber, and that's where Oracle is, pretty much where he's stationed at, along with his bodyguard. He's got a series of guards, actually. So this is Adam's safe house. Lily will also be able to use some of the, like the shop.
It's amazing.
Even in the darkest times, it's always safe to bet on human survival instinct.
So, where do we go?
No time for breaks. Typical Eve. Oracle is in the presence chamber. Follow me.
Alright. So, this is our next little save point. We are now in Zion. So these are the shot grenades I absolutely love. They're so useful later on as well. We'll have this is kind of a place for us to decorate, and we'll have a vending machine here at some point in time as well. But for now, we're just going to move forward. Whenever you can, make sure you tag the phones, especially if you see a red phone signal. That means that you're accessing and activating a waypoint for fast travel.
Are all those walls around the city supposed to protect it from Natiba attacks?
The walls don't seem to be as reinforced as well as they should be.
So now we get an idea of the city, but although it's large, it's pretty desolate and the streets are empty. And there's a reason for that.
Wow, what is this place? I wonder how the colony would react if they knew about this.
Most likely there will be a protocol to rescue everyone. big project.
But the only way it'll be possible to contact the colony will be to finish the mission. I hope that day comes soon.
I wish I could have got a better glimpse of that magazine. I wonder if it's a reference or something, an
Why is
Easter egg
the
maybe.
street so empty? Is everyone hiding because of us?
We have a situation.
A situation?
It's called Nunya. Nunya? Nunya business. Alright, so what we're going to do is I'm going to take a look at what that magazine was. I walked by it somewhere. Damn it, Adam. Give me a minute, would you? Okay, he's not going to let me do it. Let's just go straight to the presence chamber then. Adam's bossy. There's a few passcodes and really cool like side quests that I found really challenging. I had to have like a pen and paper out, and I was doing math, believe it or not. But there's puzzles and side quests for everybody. Action-based ones, fetch quests, things like that. But everything rewards you, and you can actually increase the affinity you have with merchants too. So if you do side quests for people, merchants in particular, I mean, they can often reward you with some good stuff. And unique items that normally would not be available, like, for example, nano suits and other cool like enhancements. So we want to make sure that we are constantly upgrading our weapon as much as we can. We want as much power as possible and damage output, and then as many heals as possible. I thought this character was so cool. I think her name's Rael.
Hey, Rael. It's been a while.
Looks like you brought guests.
Very important guests. Can you open the door?
Go. Oracle is waiting for you.
Thank
See
you.
you soon, Rael.
I like that dude too, over to the right. Rael is one of like 3 sisters, and she's pretty awesome. Well, they're all pretty awesome, actually. You'll find out why later. So now we're in the presence chamber where we will meet Man and Oracle. Man is like the leader of the Sentinels, which is like the guards.
Memories are kept, right?
You've got a keen eye. That's right. The presence chamber is where memories are stored. The memories of those who couldn't make it back to Mother Sphere.
Wow.
Over here.
There's our Man Oracle.
I see we have guests. Welcome.
Howdy.
Let me start the introductions. This is Zion's prophet, Oracle.
I'm Airborne Squad Member Eve.
My name's Lily. Pleased to meet you.
Adam has told me all about you. You defeated an Alpha Nativa. Could you show me anything it might have done?
Perhaps this core. So he shows us what the Alpha Core is, and how it's just one piece of a larger puzzle.
Your objective is to rid the world of the Elder Nativa, leader of all other Nativas. Well, then I suppose you are trying to use the Alpha Core as a key to open a way forward to the next. Is that right?
How did you know that?
Unfortunately, the Alpha Core core.
What?
Way!
But is there really no other way to reach the nest?
By fusing 4 Alpha Cores together, you create something called a Master Core. Only with the Master Core will you be able to reach the very deepest corner of the nest.
How do you know all this?
Thanks to my personal link to the facility on the surface, I
also mean you'd be able to track down the Alpha Natiba.
That's enough for introduction.
He's like, yeah.
Insert the hypercell.
Nice. So now that we've been introduced to Oracle, where's Man?
Eve, here.
That is so strange. There's usually a Sentinel here, and his name is Man. I'm not sure if he maybe comes out after the fact, but I don't know why he isn't there. He's a really cool looking character. Very cyber samurai, but I don't know why he's not present right now. I didn't do anything different. So now we enter the cradle, and we learn that once we input the hypercell into that hyperdrive, that it's not just powering the city, but this facility here that has a very specific purpose.
Oh, it's so dark. I really don't like the dark.
This is the hyperdrive, the source of all of Zion's energy. Hey, the hypercell you brought will bring light to Zion. Hey, try putting the hypercell in here.
All the characters seem really interesting. They actually are. I thought they were going to be pretty surface level, and Adam in particular, I was like, I'm not really convinced. Like, but I actually do like his character quite a bit. They all kind of have their isms. All right, so now Eve's going to input the hypercell and see like the true purpose of this area called the cradle. All around, there's people in sleeping cells, essentially in like a sort of stasis because of the energy crisis.
Is this some kind of graveyard?
No, the people here are in a deep sleep due to energy depletion. Carrying on this way, it can only bring darkness. Eve, please help us.
I'll see what I can do.
Thanks to the hypercell Eve acquired, they're safe. For the time being.
I'm glad I was able to do something of significance.
Do we need more hypercells if the citizens ever want to wake up?
Yes, we need 3 more hypercells if we ever want to fully rebuild Zion.
So a total of 4 hypercells,
And we can hear the rest of the story.
which kind of echoes the need for the 4 alpha cores. So our priorities and objectives are going to kind of overlap.
Thanks to you, the lives of tens of thousands of people have been extended. And my crystal link is also stabilized.
That's great news! Does that mean we can figure out the location of the Alpha Natiba now?
All the Elder's energy
There he is.
maintaining the cradle.
Who are you?
Oh, this here is Man.
There he is.
He also serves as Oracle's bodyguard.
Man.
My skills
Good
are
name.
still limited, shall we say, so I am not yet able to reach new areas. However, with the power of more hypercells, I'm certain I can track the location of the Alpha Natiba. That's why I'll have to ask you for a little more help.
So he's going to send us to, yep, Altes Lavar.
Wasteland of ruin of the past. Can you count on you to retrieve another hypercell from there?
Eve, I'm sure it'll be of help.
Yes, we have no other choice. Adam, Lily, I'll be counting on you.
It won't be easy. Make sure you're well prepared.
Alright. So the next order of business is to kind of acquaint ourselves with Zion, accept some side quests or bulletin board quests, and then try and rack up some materials, gold, and skill points. Then we'll jump to Altes Lavar. There's a collectible around here. There it is. So that story kind of tells you how that there might be, you know, like what's the underlying conflict with Zion? Why do they have hostility towards the colony? Why do some people still revere Mother Sphere? Things like that. It kind of shows the duality of it all.
I feel better now that we're outside.
Things can get pretty intense in the presence chamber.
Yeah, that scary-looking guy wouldn't stop staring at me.
No, he doesn't look it, but he's friendlier than you'd think. I have to finish the maintenance on the tetrapod before we leave. Hey, can I ask you for a favor? I ordered a propulsion control board from a parts store called Sister's Junk. Can you go pick up the order and meet me back at the safe house? Feel free to look around the city while you do.
Okay.
I'm going to borrow Adam's workshop for a bit. I want to tinker with the drone.
All right, let's all finish what we have to do and meet back at the tetrapod.
It's really funny because, well, first off, I guess Adam's just kind of introducing you to kind of push you to side quests, understand how that works. But the funny thing is between Adam and Lily, they usually go back and forth over the drone. But it's now looking back, it's like, okay, he didn't care that she was going to tinker with it. As the story progresses, there's like a little bit of more funny kind of side story with them and the drone and stuff. So you'll see. But it's interesting how he just like, yeah, whatever, just get my part, please. So as we complete requests, you know, that's pretty much going to be missions. And if it's a merchant you're doing a quest or a mission on, then... What? I don't have my map data yet. It's funny. Oh, there it is. Okay, I was like, I can't press my map. I was a second too early. Okay, so that's Sister's Junk. It's going to be right to the right. Anytime you see an exclamation mark or point, that's going to be a new mission you can track. If you see any kind of gold icon like this, that's a primary objective. And then that's our ship. That is the bulletin board where you can go and get renew, you know, quest. Not renew necessarily, and it's not endless, but based on the chapter of the game that you're in, you're going to have a series of bulletin board requests you can complete. I suggest collecting all of them because there'll be a point where you'll need to actually you'll be in certain areas that you maybe cannot access, or certain areas where they seem like incomplete or there's no reward, and it's because you haven't activated the bulletin board quest yet. Once you do and you go to those areas, it kind of triggers the next step, so it's kind of neat. I would strongly suggest just activating them all. Okay, so let's just go down this set of stairs here. And then we're going to look for Sister's Junk. That's not it. Keep going down this way. Once you pass this little hair salon here, you go, you'll see this sign that says Sister's Junk. Now, it's important that if you want to get Lily's affinity all the way to 100%, which is required for you to get the secret ending, it's important that you read all these like these posters and things like that. And if you look at the top right of the screen, typically you're going to see an icon with Lily's face on it, and then there'll be a percentage. That means that you're making progress towards her knowledge and affinity. That's going to be very crucial to determining if you get the true ending or not. There are cutoff points that will dictate if you're going to get it or not, or determine if you're going to get it or not. And if you don't obtain the 100% early enough, then you will actually not see the true ending. She's down here, but I'm just looking to see if there's anything I can grab. So we're looking for Kaya, I believe. This one's probably not going to be one we can open yet. Let me see. Oh, yay, fun. I love these. That was a record for me. Nice. Again, nano elements, polymers, those all help you craft your nano suits. We don't have the drone, so it's really hard to ping and do stuff right now, but you can go around and, like, for example, if she ever kicks one of these, you're going to get a soda out of it, or a collectible can out of it. And remember, the more cans you collect, the more you're able to unlock in terms of like how many grenades you can hold, and a number of other good benefits like that, like grenades, other nano suits, like rare unique nano suits, consumables, all that stuff. So let's have a chat with this vendor here.
Angel. I can't believe the angel.
I'm gonna eat some crackers while you guys listen to this.
Owner of the shop.
That's right. At least for now.
Adam sent me to pick up the new propulsion control board he ordered. I'm here. Is it ready?
Uh-huh. It's ready. I even have a spare one too.
Good to know. Let's see. How much is that going to cost?
Oh, no. You can just take this. I heard you come to help us. Of course, I'll do what I can to help you as well.
Really? Then I'll accept it. Thank you. In return, is there something else I can maybe help you with?
I love that purple hair. It looks really nice. Zanitos, thank you so much for subscribing. Remenderp, thank you for following. I appreciate that. You guys are awesome. Always love the support.
Anything from you, Angel.
Do you want to give me the full story?
We're taking this challenge run nice and slow, considering I've already done it.
When I ran into some new Gigas, I had to ditch my bike and my trunk during the escape. The bike got caught between hunks of metal. I had to leave it behind, or I wouldn't have made it out alive.
A bike. Can you give me the exact location? I do have to go out to the wasteland. I'll go ahead and find out.
Oh, thank you very much.
And while we're out, it is strongly advised to always collect all the side quests along the way, because you most likely will run into the area of an objective that you just didn't know about had you not accepted the quest. So accept the quest. Now let's look and see what she has for sale.
Angel, hello. What brings you here this time?
So we go to the shop, talks about affinity. The more you purchase, the higher the affinity bar goes. Every time you get to a new level, that will unlock different items that wouldn't normally be for sale. So there's level 1, which is normal inventory, level 2, which has additional items, and level 3, which is max affinity. So I will suggest that you guys get the mind map copy. This is going to be important for another side quest. So the first one you get is here at Sister's Junk. So you do want to get this. It costs 1,000 gold. That's honestly not much of a commitment. It's actually pretty cheap. Later in the game, the WB pumps are going to be incredibly important. Right now, not so much, but maybe if you're having a difficult time with a boss, it gives you a second chance. Like you actually revive with full health, and after you die. So it can't be a death that's due to environment, but it has to be like a death due to damage, or like in a non-scripted area, like a boss fight or a standard enemy attacking you. Then you can revive, and you can access or re-up your storage or your inventory once you rest at a camp. So this is going to be just different types of gear you can have that you can slot in. So remember, when you have omnibolts, you put in different gears. So shield penetration, not bad. Attack power, but increased damage taken. It wouldn't be bad for early game and late game if you have actual armor on. And then damage reduction, not too important. We want to focus on offense. And then attack power when low on HP. Again, buying more of these things would open up a bunch more stuff. But in this playthrough, I'm just not going to be buying too much of anything.
Yes. I'll stop by if I have the chance.
Remember, it is good, though, to max out the affinity.
Hope to see you again.
Another thing, though, is at the very least, you do want to get to Affinity 2, because they will express like either a secret or they'll share some information that they normally wouldn't that would help trigger the next part of their quest line. So Affinity 2 is kind of required for that. Affinity 3 is required if you just want to collect everything. Remember this little face and this console for later. And now let's go ahead and see if there's anything else we can do before we head back. I'm not going to go for the 100% Lily on this one. I've already obtained that ending, so I need to get a different ending. And I'm thinking to maybe do just the ending that's, let's just call it ending 2. I don't want to reveal anything. I got the true ending. There's another ending you can get that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with Lily's affinity, and then there's another that does have to do with her affinity, but it just can't be at 100%. So again, doing this by like reading these items on, it's going to help increase the affinity. As you can see there, that was the very first one, and it increased to just about 2%. This does not mean that you have to collect every single item like the cans and memory sticks, things like that. It's mostly items that have to do specifically with the colony or mother sphere, different revelations like that. So you definitely want to, at least try to experiment with some of those and see, okay, is this helping or not, right? Like, is this increasing the meter or not? And if it does, and that's good. There's going to be some big jumps in the meter as you progress to certain areas in the game anyway, so anywhere from 10 to 20% increases. I was at like 80%, and then when I reached this one area, I got to 99%, and it was excellent. So it's not too hard to do, is what I'm trying to say. I was able to skip an entire area and go straight to the primary objective without doing any side quests, and I still got 100%. So I just wanted to show you how easy it is. Every time you see a phone, make sure you pick it up. This is going to activate a waypoint. Oh, you know what I didn't do? My apologies. We need to go down here, actually. I was preparing to do a bulletin quest. I guess we can do that in just a moment, but so I was down here, got the can. I forgot to show you guys this. This is like a little pub, little bar. You can check this, and it also gives you a little bit of affinity, I believe. Some of them do, anyways. Anytime you interact with anything that says to check, you typically get skill points, so it's not a bad thing to do. So we hear this woman singing over here, but she's got some sort of like life support drone, and
Halt. This is a restricted area. I haven't seen you around Zion before. Identify yourself.
Wait, I'm an airborne squad member from the colony.
Huh. So you're an angel. What brings you here? Looking for a tour?
I was curious about the song coming from outside.
I heard the prophet gave you permission to enter the city, but that doesn't mean you can go around as you please. Of course, those who've lived in the comfort of the colony don't know anything.
I don't mean any harm. I apologize if I've caused you trouble.
And you okay? Remember time when this bar used to be full of people?
Drink and drink. That's the name of this sign there.
Empty and dark. Nenya, same story. I wonder how long she can keep singing with her body in the state it's in. I don't even know why I'm talking about this. It's pointless.
I'm trying to be sensitive, but if you need help, we might be able to fix her. After all, we do have engineering support from the airborne squad.
What? Is that so?
We do now.
But I have no way to repay you.
No, I don't need anything. I don't need any kind of incentive to save someone.
All right. In that case, could you help me?
You know, so I will go ahead and, you know, at least continue speaking to him. But I don't think I'm going to do tons of side quests. I just realized, because if I'm going to do a walkthrough for you guys, this would just kind of be strictly more so like me focusing on the challenge aspect of it. But I do want to go to this area, the bulletin board here, which is down here. Gwen's hair salon is like kind of like my reference point for many things. Newspaper here is going to help you with Lily percentage, if you guys, I think, if I recall correctly. And if it doesn't, it's still a collectible. Soda. Alright, awesome. So I want to go to the bulletin board.
This facility is anyway.
Again, these are just kind of like mini requests you can do. You can get money.
So used to go to the
Some of the things are just right around the corner in Zion.
down to the elevator to the prison's chamber. Cat exists on Earth.
And then some things are out in the wasteland.
It's through the prison's chamber, right?
So this here was one of the first puzzles. I was like, this is really cool. I think the way you solve it is, so look at the numbers down below. It says 4 at 7 at 8, and then it gives you equals. So it's like, how do you get to that answer? So the first thing you do is you multiply 4 times 7. That's 28. And then you do 8 times 7, which gives you 56. And then you do... And then you add 28 and 56, and that gives you 84. So then down below you have 9 times 3 is 27, 3 times 5 is 15, add those two together, it's 42. Down below you have 6 times 2 is 12, 2 times 7 is 14, those two added together is 26. Then we have, well, let's see, 5 times 6 is 30. Wait, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then 6 times 7 is what, 42? So it's 30, 42. So 30, 42, 72. So that, yeah, you add those two together. 30 plus 42, 72. So it should be 30, 42, 72. Interesting, right? I thought so. That was a lot of fun to me. But anyways, so that's how you'd solve that one. You go down to the presence chamber, and there's going to be a console there. And at any point in time, if you need to know how to access your missions, there's close. Lovely. We've unlocked the nodes, but we don't have any close. You can swipe down on the pad here, or if not, you can just press start and go to missions, and you can select whichever ones you want. These are, of course, are your main quests. These are side quests. These are bulletin board quests. So it's like, I want to solve this one real quick, just to show you really quickly. That's what we would do. Now we go scroll up, and then it says, hey, you have to go here, to this area right here, and now your objective is marked with a green indicator saying, hey, go here to this location. So it's so awesome. Like, the map is great. I just wish you could add markers. That would be nice to kind of go back to some of the chests that maybe you're unable to open, things like that, but that's just little quality of life stuff. So anyways, this is a merchant. For some reason, she's kind of like a shady merchant, but I actually like her character. The dialogue is kind of odd, and I have a feeling it has to do with like translation issues, but it doesn't really seem like Roxanne's mean or being coy or anything in any way, but she kind of tries to act that way. It just doesn't really come off very, very genuine, I guess. But let's chat with her real quick.
Angel. Lovely to meet you. You don't seem very like...
It's like, what?
Alright. You're pretty sharp. I've heard it before. Folks often compare me to a snake.
Like, it would have been nice to be like, you seem kind of shady, instead of like, you don't seem likable.
Info dealer. Info dealer? Yes. Practical things. Gossip, blackmail, fears, weaknesses. I dabble in a bit of everything. Oh, I do like this, Angel. You really are my favorite customer.
But it's like, how was she your favorite customer? We just started chatting with her. So it's like, I feel like there is something strange there with how they wrote out that entire encounter. It's like, Roxanne's never done anything to us. Eve said one thing. So it's like, how did that interaction end up being? But every time then they have like this kind of like, where Eve's kind of like, hey, like, don't talk to me that way, or that kind of interaction, which is real snappy with Roxanne, and Roxanne is like, I'm like, but y'all didn't do, there was no interaction. So very strange there. Anyways, this is information. So as you take these or purchase these with gold, these might actually help increase your affinity, not only with the merchant, but with Lily as well. So remember, if you get her to 100% before a certain point, which we'll discuss in the actual walkthrough or later as we get to in the stream, then you know, that's going to be ideal, because if not, you'll be locked out of the true ending. I'm not going to buy anything right now. I'm not going to go for the 100% on a challenge run.
I guess jokes aren't really...
See, like, I don't understand the banter there. I don't know. It just didn't translate well, it seems. So there we got some more Lily percentage. Look at that. And I just realized, you know, like the other day, I was like, oh my gosh, there are mice everywhere in this game. And it freaked me out. Like, there's mice everywhere in Zion. And I just about passed out. Let's go solve a puzzle real quick, just so I can show you guys my math skills. We're going to go up here, and we're going to solve the puzzle real quick, and then we're going to pretty much avoid all side quests from this point forward. I made the determination. I was thinking about it, and it's like, you know what? I just went through and damn near 100%ed it in like 2-3 days. That was a lot. And if I'm doing a challenge run, might as well just go straight to the objectives, the primary objectives. Now, I did actually already technically complete the challenge. I just didn't do it on stream, so I want to make sure I show you guys that you can see and follow along. So let's see. Oh, I need the... Wait, hold on. No, I need the hint. Okay, so 5 times 6 is 30. 6 times 7 is 42. And then you add those together, that's 72.
Too easy.
I was really proud. Now, the other one was so hard, I could not figure it out for the life of me. I wanted to showcase this because every time you actually complete a bulletin board request, and even some side quests, you're immediately prompted to return to that person so you can collect your reward and complete the quest. I think that's really cool. It adds for, like, you know, kind of efficiency and whatever else, but just make sure before you close out everything you look around an area, because otherwise you'll be taken kind of out, and you'll have to go back there manually if you choose to actually return to the area of the quest giver, you know. So let me figure out my lighting really quickly. Bear with me like 2 seconds.
A bulletin board? All right then. Let's take a look at what's happening in Zion.
That's better, sort of. I'm telling you, my my webcam just cannot adjust to light or any kind of fluctuations. Okay, so we got Bitcoins, things like that. So at least I kind of showcased to you how that works. Not bad. Now, as you go through these puzzles, they get harder and harder. And the second one, I think it was the third one, this threw me off. I was like, wait, what? I had like a notepad. I was like trying to do math. It was bad. I did math. So yeah, it was fun. I like figuring stuff like that out. Okay, so we'll tag this phone right here so we have all the waypoints, or at least a handful of them. And then we're going to go across the bridge and start pushing forward on our quests. That way we can just get stuff done. I want to beat this challenge. That way I can focus on putting together a walkthrough for you guys in the next week or so. I think that'd be nice. I got to be careful not to collect everything, because I do not want 100%. You may want 100% if you need to unlock the true ending. But I've already unlocked that ending, and I want to see a different ending.
Eve! Come take a look. Come.
Look at this. Now, our drone is decked out. And this is how we obtain our ranged weapon. So Lily modified the drone to become a gun. It's really awesome. Share this. I hate mice, bugs, and snakes. It gets interesting being a gardener. My cat takes care of everything that comes in our house by hunting in our basement, though. He's a vicious hunter, but sweet to us. You know, my fear is that has he ever brought you gifts? Like a little offering? Because that would freak me out. Like if for whatever reason my cat brought me a little gift or something, I would probably have freak out. Like a mouse or something. Oh gosh, that'd be gross. That'd be something that'd be hard to adjust to. What? Oh, she wants me to shoot. My bad. Oh my gosh, I almost missed. And you saw. There was one that was like impossible to hit. Whoa, buddy. Okay. Really? Really? Okay. Jeez. Why was that one so hard? Good job, Lily. Now, just so you know... There you go. So he's going to anger a bit.
It will be very useful for the mission. Thanks.
Great. Let me know if you ever run out of ammunition.
I will. He used to. It was gross, but he just eats them now. Oh, gosh. Well, it's I don't know. I'm glad he doesn't bring them, but I'd be freaked out if he, like, you know, they dropped a mouse or something at my feet. Oh man, that's like my phobia.
Do you think I'd just get in the way?
Look, little mama, you just get in the way.
Lily, I have to
I'll go ahead and, you know, wrap this up, and then no more side quests. We're just gonna go unless it's like just right there.
There's no chance of her moving. The technology here won't do. Do you think you might be able to help somehow?
Well, yes. But do you really think this is a good time?
People here,
This is where I think the mind maps come into play.
many of them think
There's a handful of important items like that we're gonna need
our mission isn't just
to
for the
help
sake of appearances.
repair Enya's body.
Our mission is to save mankind.
Ah. Yep. Typical Eve. I can give it a try, but I can't guarantee a complete recovery. Also, there's a lot I'll need to prepare.
I understand. Just tell me what you need.
I'll send over the list.
And this will then be part of the mission.
Don't spend too much time on this. After all, we still have a mission to complete.
I know. Thank you.
Alright, cool. Let's go to the shop and see if we can upgrade the drone. So we have some of the elements already.
Plan two. You just track down the materials.
Alright, so the drone, one of the things that I suggest is there's a few branches. This branch is going to be for kind of scanning and even detecting cans. I think this was one of the most important. And then just the slugs. You can also use shotgun shells and explosive shells, missiles. I didn't really like the missiles. I wasn't really fond of them. I didn't use the Stinger at all, not at all, unless it was a required or scripted sequence, which you will have several. But other than that, I never used the drone as a ranged weapon. Not even during boss fights or anything like that. I just refused to use it. I was like sword only, unless of course it was scripted, and it wasn't part of the challenge. It's just like, I don't know. I'm a simple guy. You give me like a trillion combos, I'm going to use those. I don't need a gun too, right? But it's like, it was really nice to have the gun in those sequences because it showed you how cool it is. But I just never really used it much. But you have missiles, slugs, and different types of shotgun shells. And then you have like this rail blasting thing, like a railgun thing. I never used it one time. Now you use a similar like variant of it during scripted events, but it'll be a while before you see anything like that. So mind map copies, and then we had already the other components, and there's typically one other thing we should have grabbed, but it's not saying anything yet. He's going to have to fix his ship, I think, still.
I brought back what you asked for. Here.
Very
work, Eve.
Shayla says he left a gift on our stairs once when I had my hands full. Let's just say I had to have my teen boys cleaned up because I couldn't handle that.
Empty space.
That's hilarious. That is funny.
Let's go to the waste.
That's what would have happened to me. I just can't stand. I've had some terrible experiences with vermin,
Oh, I'm afraid.
and so I'm scared straight. I'm like, nope.
Then when will you be ready?
Unfortunately, it's going to take longer than a day.
So he has to install this new part on his tetrapod. So he's saying, look, I can guide you with the drone, but you're gonna have to go on your own. And Eve says, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and go it alone and explore.
In fact, I want to see the wasteland with my own eyes.
You're one of a kind, Eve. All right. I'll guide you with the drone.
Eve, please be careful.
Yes, thank you.
Lily's so annoying. Okay.
The wasteland is that.
And it really is. You literally just take a left at the bridge, and even at the very entrance or exit of Zion, or entrance to Zion, entrance to the wasteland, there's a... Oh, come on, girl. What do you want, girl? Now I can update my drone? No. Then what do you want?
It's about time the drone got an upgrade.
Oh my gosh. I just have to wait for her to say that.
You just tracked down the materials.
What are you talking about? I'm just going, okay. She's crazy. So we're going to make a left here at this bridge. And like I said earlier, I'm going to be skipping most of the side quests. I was going to actually be very thorough. And then I was like, you know what? I don't need to do that for a challenge run. So I can save my mental energy for the walkthrough, you know, and kind of get some practice in as well. Alright. This dude's just going to want us to... Well, they all want something that's relatively close by.
Did you know that the
He asks you to talk to the information broker, which is a great way to speak with her. We've already done that. We don't need to travel to her. We've already spoken with her, so we're good to go. You can dip in that water there, and there's a few things you can grab. One is specifically for a side quest, actually. But we're going to make our way up this path here so we can reach the wasteland. Anytime you reach a new area, like a open world area, you're going to have to restore power to the solar tower so that you can use your supply camps. Otherwise, they won't be active. And the waypoints that are at the telephone booths won't be able to be used. So you need to restore power first.
I've never seen it like
And yet danger lurks around every corner.
I really like the soundtrack too.
Big trip you might find yourself caught in the arms of death. All right. I've entered the scanned coordinates of Altus Lavoir. Let's go.
Altus Lavoir is going to be an area, like our primary objective, which we will actually head to. But first we have to kind of experience the fact that there's no power. So let's kind of go through that. Normally we activate the supply camp with the coin, but there's no power.
Doesn't have power.
So we'll need to mess around with the solar tower and repair it.
It looks like a good amount of the camp's energy is being supplied by nearby areas. I think there's an issue with the supply network.
What can we do about it?
This is gonna be tricky.
It's not so bad though, actually, believe it or not. Now the enemies in this area are substantially more difficult than the ones that we had just faced off with.
Supports energy
But it starts tapering off.
It seems like there might be a problem with the tower. We're going to have to go and check.
Another thing we'll have to do is make sure we start spending skill points. The few that we're going to be getting, because we're not going to be doing all the quests. But the few that we get, we're going to want to spend them on our beta abilities. Also in open world environments, as you continue to, this is part of a side quest, as you continue to sprint over time, you'll start actually increasing your speed even further. I could have actually killed him with a stealth kill. That would have been awesome, but my bad. I'll do that instead. Hedge Boar. There's other bulletin quests that state, you know, like if you kill a fixed amount of enemies, you can get rewards, but it doesn't go crazy with that. You know, like in some games like this, open world games, or at least the semi-open world, you see quests where it's like kill 50 of these, kill 20 of these. It's never more than like 10 or 5, and you don't see very many of those quests at all, so it's very reasonable. But anyway, so we're gonna go around. I just wanted to, I am gonna kill some enemies for sure. I need to rack up some experience. The skill points are gonna be pretty important. And while I'm here, we do have a map of the wasteland. So I'm going to select my mission. Reboot is going to be the primary mission that's, I guess, the most important to us right now. If you zoom in, you realize that there's like there's canyons and whatever here, so we actually can't cross. So we have to go around this way. And that's how we'll get to our objective, which is the solar tower. Solar towers are going to be important again because once you reach a new area, you do have to restore the power in order to use the supply camps. So, otherwise it'd be very painful if you're just walking around without saving, without healing. Wouldn't advise it. So we're going to circle around here. After we restore the power, then we'll get right back to the main objective. And we'll go straight to Altesse Lavoir, which, in my opinion, was quite easy. It was just really interesting from a lore perspective, but it wasn't hard. Alright. Anytime you know, kind of get lost or you need a ping, remember, that's your primary objective. That would be the secondary objective or side quest. And then as you ping, you can also make sure that you're looking around for any collectibles or items that you can help, or you can scan to help increase Lily's affinity, if that's what you're going for. If you're not, then you can just collect it for the sake of collecting the 100% collectibles. Now, if you do end up collecting everything, you will by far surpass the 100% affinity for Lily. So, you know, it's not really that big. So, I mean, you don't even need to collect them all to get 100%. Collecting them all is just more so for your heart's content than anything else. But beyond 100%, you're not getting any benefit in terms of the true ending or the story or lore or anything like that. You're just collecting everything. Collectibles do carry over in New Game Plus, so if you want to see all the endings, it's probably best advised that you go through and do a 100% run first, and then maybe a sub 100% run, so you can get the second and third endings. I love that. Hedge boars, those guys are annoying. Okay, there's another save point over there, and there's actually a phone. You see all this? These are different areas you can climb up. You can't get to those until much later, so. There's a big one, so he's going to have a different combo, different moveset. Perfect. Okay. Love that. There's going to be a supply camp up here. Can't do much with it, though. We can try and activate it. Just so you know that if you do at least pop in the Vit coins, although it doesn't turn on this moment, once you restore the power, it will actually, be something you can use or fast travel to. So we're going to use our stealth here. That's so good. I didn't get that until the very end because I was like, I don't want to play stealthy. I didn't realize how helpful it was. I'm just very stubborn when I play. When I play off stream, I am very different. And not like myself, but like the way I think. I am trying to get everything, but I'm all about simplicity and like efficiency. So I don't worry about like, let me explore and try every different type of combat possible. Like that's why I didn't use the ranged weapon hardly at all and stuff like that. I'm a weirdo. He's dead. We'll grab this gold. Remember, you can ping as much as you want to see, especially if it's a new area. I just know kind of where I'm going because I just remember from the map. I'm just trying to circle around here, and I did recall that supply camp there, so it's just kind of a good reference point for me. But don't be shy to continuously be scanning. I upgraded my drone from the scanning perspective more than anything else, but more than the combat even. I ended up maxing it out, of course, but the first branch that I unlocked was all about scanning and reducing the cooldown for the scan, increasing the time that items were marked, etc. So again, it just depends on how much you want to use the ranged combat and the gun, but it's not something that you have to use much at all. Unless it's a scripted event, then yes, you do. Why am I not locked on? Alright. There's this bro right here. I like opening up my attack with that because it's just really nice, does good damage. How am I removing my lock on there? That's so weird. Okay, I don't want to die. Can't be silly here. I don't know, that's weird. And one thing that I wanted to figure out was there's a chest in here, and I actually have the passcode for it in my main file, but you're kind of locked out of certain areas at certain points. But there's like a little oasis in there. It's really neat. Okay. So you're going to see something here. As you activate these little stations, it impacts another type of chest you can unlock, which is like a puzzle. And when you find all of the stations and you activate them, like the security will continue to drop until it's open. So like say you have the number 3 on it. If you find 3 stations, it'll go down to 0 and the security is lifted and you can open the chest. So yet another type of puzzle, which again just kind of keeps things fresh in my opinion. I do enjoy variety in puzzles. There's so many times where a game can be really good, but then they kind of miss the mark with the puzzle execution. So initially it started off at 4. Now we have 2 left to go. So right now we wouldn't be able to open it, for example. Okay, so you just look for the rest of these little nodes, which are just always in the vicinity. There's nothing that's very, like, this game is very forgiving in terms of like the puzzles and side quests and things like that. If it takes you somewhere or leads you somewhere, there will be a reward there. If you don't find the reward there, not because lack of searching, but there's just nothing there, and you're like, this seems like I'm lacking like some finality to this quest. Well, that means you probably haven't accepted the respective side quest or bulletin board quest. So make sure you do that, and then you're going to get your reward. So it's very friendly. I really like the way they did that. Oh man, I'm loving this ambush too. It's so nice. Alright, Station 3 activated. Let's head on over here. Again, there's going to be bodies and humans that you can interact with and get some data on. Let's see if I can sneak, because I don't feel like fighting. I'm lazy. I love it. Look at that, instant kill. The fact that that's instant kill is kind of broken too, because you can defeat some very strong enemies in the late game. It's crazy. I'm like, whoa, 1 hit? That's fun. There it is. Alright, cool. So now that all of those have been activated, we can just work our way back to this this little makeshift platform we used.
I see a drone over there.
Yeah, the tower's right here.
Maybe it can tell us.
This is the solar tower, so we're right next to it. But anyways, we're going to come up here, grab this chest. A lot of these chests, for the most part, we're going to grab some of these things if they're just in close vicinity to our primary objective, because I will need to upgrade as much as possible. Even getting the cans is never a waste, because it can unlock your ability to hold more things like consumables, grenades, etc.
In the past, it was used as a container for electrolyte solutions.
A can. I like it. I can read a variety of data from this. It isn't much, but I can still feel traces of memories in it.
It's a description or an advertisement for the electrolyte solution. Funny seeing you so interested in some old
Yeah, it's funny. I like that though. She loves the cans.
Pretty in their own way. But if you're that worried about it, why don't I make a cabinet to store them?
All right then. As long as it's not a burden for you.
So Lily's gonna create a vending machine.
Easy as pie for the one and only Lily Artemis.
Now off in the distance, girl, shut up. Off in the distance, we have the supply camp, and then we have this drone here. This is going to be required for us to fix the solar tower. So let's go ahead and chat with the drone. Beep beep. That's all it said.
Hello. I'm Service 001. Standard service drone. Requesting administrator assistance. An error occurred in solar tower Orca A091078CQ. Reboot sequence status.
Now remember that series of letters and numbers.
Device malfunction.
I'm just kidding. It's not important.
Administrator
Wouldn't that be terrible though if it was? Long story short, she's saying that we need to fix the solar tower. She's just very slow about it. Okay. And I was just kidding about, you don't have to remember the sequence, but I was just saying that would be terrible if you had to. Remember this for later. That's important. We're going to head up the stairs and come outside. Now here's a little like a platforming sequence. If you go up another level, there'll be a console. And that console is going to pretty much say like, hey, we can't activate the tower because things are still jacked up. So now we're going to do some platforming. Make our way all the way up top. There you go. Love it. We have to jump on this dude. Huh. No, hold on. Wait. What happened here? Why is this? I feel like I need to go up again. What? Why does it want me to go down? There you go. I would say, yeah, that wasn't right. Because that one takes you down, all the way down, so you can go back to the floor level without, you know, falling to your death. Come on, Eve. Oh gosh, that was a scary jump. Up we go. Just a few more of these little tricky jumps. I mean, they're not really that hard, but later on the platforming gets much simpler. So we're going to shoot this. That's going to release a cord or a cable you can actually slide down.
System error. Reboot failed.
There must be some kind of issue with the facility.
And it's not actually an issue with the facility. I mean, there is slightly, but it's more so that the nearby drones are not allowing, or they're not able to work because they're like stuck, right? So we need to find ways to help them out. Can I reach this? Sure I can.
Wait a minute. What?
So what we do is move some of this rubble out of the way, and then it's going to help that drone get free. As we free each of the drones, then they can do their job as intended. It's like, boom, kills the other drone. That would have been funny. Do your thing, little man.
Thank you, Administrator. Thank you. System maintenance may now resume.
Good. At least the drone is intact.
Alright, now, almost died. We go here, it's green. That means the drone's free, and they can do what they need to do.
System is now all clear. Reboot successful.
Now, all the power is going to be restored in the wasteland area, so our supply camps will be activated. That means now we can just go straight to Altesse Lavoir, and we're going to bypass all the other side quests for now. I'm going to leave the opportunity, at least for myself, to be able to complete some of these side quests,
What's the problem?
because I feel like later on I'm going to have some leveling issues. End game gets tough, guys. Especially skin suit only. But now we've restored the power, so every single supply camp that we activated is now going to be available for us to use. And all the phones will also be available for us to use. So we have waypoints. Fast travel points, whatever you want. Oh my gosh. Whatever you want to call them. What I needed to do there was slide down and then jump off. Oh, hey, look at that. Yay. I'm an Administrator of the Month.
Right. Now we...
Those things. Oh, well,
I couldn't say.
Nice. Now by completing the quest, we got a handful of skill points, and that's what's going to be important. Skill points are going to be really huge, and then just finding ways to increase the number of tumblers we get, which is a little bit more about exploration. So we'll be fine. I think we're going to be okay. It's going to be challenging because I'm going to be skipping some content, so leveling, I won't be able to rely solely on leveling. But it's fine. We got this. And as you can see, even the saves are very gracious and forgiving. Like if you died there, I just completed the quest, you'd think, okay, where did it autosave? Right there, so the quest was already completed. So it gives you, and it always puts you like in close proximity too. You don't have to go straight back to supply camp, you know? Alright, so we have to improve the power of some of these abilities. We need way more beta energy too. Let me see something real quick. Make sure my beta energy is like maxed out every time I'm getting it. Yep, okay, good stuff. I need this. I have to have more energy when I'm landing attacks. One of my favorite abilities is either of these actually. Let's see. Beta energy there. So we might want to go for this. And then I might just increase this as well. Eventually I'll go for the additional attack as well as the beta gain that we can obtain. This one's also really good. I never really used the shield breaker. Almost never, actually. Anytime you see the green dot, it just means something can be upgraded or you've obtained a new item like a nanosuit, exospine, or drone, so you can always check them out. I always make sure that I can't upgrade anything like one of Eve's core abilities, which is like the sword or the tumblers and things like that. I like to really look for those, keep an eye out for those. Okay. Let's go say hi to this fool. And we need to go to the main quest here, which is Altess Lavar. The way I made it initially, I came around from this angle because I explored everything. So I always go in like a clockwise fashion. So I went all the way up here, tagged all these little abilities, you know, these side quests, found, you know, this little special NPC here, went and found all the different areas, forbidden areas, etc., and came around. And then I finally made my way all the way to here. So I wonder if that's the same path I have to take. It looks like it because these don't connect. So it might be my best interest to just go back or turn back around and go the long way. I think I'm going to do that because it doesn't seem like those pathways are connected. I would hate to waste the time. See how powerful that lightning rush attack is? You just spam triangle and you're able to knock out do a very nice combo there. Ambush is fantastic as well. Insta kill. There's a supply camp up here. Let's see, he's not facing me. This is good. Nice. Just want to walk next to it, you know, so I can kind of tag it. Alright, we're going to go down this way. There's a robot over here. Oh my gosh, he's good. mind map copy. So there's mind map number 2. There will be a third mind map actually. So if you guys are looking for all the mind maps, the first one's at Sister Junk Station. You have this one right here next to the Barren Land. This is the Barren Land Legion camp. Right here on this area, you just destroy the robot nearby and you get the second mind map. There will be a third mind map that you can get as well, and that will help you obtain everything you need to complete the quest. The rest are just consumables and items that you'll get naturally along the way. So we have to come up around this way actually. If I went down, I'd be in the same boat as before.
The only living things that I can see are Natives.
You sound disappointed. It was a catastrophe that mankind.
Alright, everybody dead now? Alright. There's another supply camp over here. That's actually it's a waypoint, sorry. If you don't tag them, they will not activate. I didn't know that, so I was running around and I was like, wait, I see the phone. I just thought by walking by it that was activating or triggering it, but no. They're not activated by proximity. You actually have to pick up the phone and then you'll see, you get kind of a prompt on your map, just like so. I would strongly suggest to do that. Alright, so we just need to make a hard right. Excellent. Alright. Oh gosh. You jump scared me. Dead. One little slice. A little bit of gold up here. Every time you see a fizz machine, you definitely want to see if you can kick it to grab a collectible can. There's 49 in total. I think I ended up getting like 35 or 4. I don't know. It was close to 40. But I stopped. I didn't search for one giant area.
Stash along the wall.
Interesting, because I didn't actually. This wasn't the first wall that I located, so it's really interesting that Adam suggested it in my playthrough, in my first playthrough, and this one Eve's saying, "No, I can run across the wall." I almost messed that up and died. Whee!
Wow, great moves. Almost as good as mine.
Ah,
It must be the drone, not you.
exactly. See, I came from that angle, actually. This right here. That's really funny. There's what seems to be an area that's just impossible to complete, but you will get an ability that allows you to complete that at a later time, so we'll focus on that later. Or at least in the walkthrough. Alright. The Scrap Plains is an area where there's a side quest you can complete for someone named Kasim, and he's going to help style your hair so you can customize your appearance even further. You know what? Kaya's bike is right there, so we'll go ahead and complete that as well, because that'll give us some good experience and possibly affinity for her, so I love it. I guess I pressed triangle a little prematurely there. I would have been happy to... just execute him, but... Ambush. Okay, Nice. That works for me. Alright, so once you go in here, we can pull this, and then we're gonna go right back over here. Need to rotate it. The bike and everything we need is up top, so. Okay. Grab this, and then you can grab the cord or the cable. And when you turn around, you'll see the bike.
Adam, I've located the bike.
I see. You must have left it behind when she ran away. It looks to me like the drones have already been cleaned. Nothing to be done there.
Now we check the chest.
These kinds of trucks are usually only used by scavengers.
I think this one belongs to Kaya.
Good to hear. Okay, let's go ahead and get it back.
And it'll say, like, you want to go back right now? We're going to say no, because we'll go back to the town in time. But yeah, that's a really cool thing about the side quest, and it's really convenient, I'd say. Again, you can always scan to see if there's anything of note. Oh, those are Vit coins. I was like, what is that? I missed out on that. We're not going to be going all crazy with the suits and stuff because I'm just going to be wearing this one, so that's fine. These guys are tough. I don't like these enemies at all. And of course he sensed me. Wait, somebody's hitting me. Yep, it's you. Should have gone for the projectile guy, see? No, my goodness. Used all my heals on these dummies. That's fine though, it happens. This is, well, this immediate vicinity, there's tons of different parts here that you can actually find. Like there's like a blow dryer and like a hair straightener and a pair of scissors. And once you speak to Kasim back in Zion near the Gwen's salon, you'll be able to retrieve those items for him so that he can customize your looks. And it's really just like your hair, I think hair color, and I don't think there's any kind of like makeup, anything like that, but it's definitely hair and hair color. In combat? Says who? Oh, it's one of those stupid, yep, these guys. Ow, ow. Okay, maybe I will use my gun. See? I had to use it there. It's not like a challenge or anything, it's just more so I just never really found the use. I found the use there. That was a perfect opportunity to use the ranged weapon. And you always want to make sure you check the loot just in case, because you can pick up the slugs that you just used, or in that case just gold, that's fine. This is the intended path because it's marked with yellow. Over here there's like this water facility that you can go to. You can get a can there, and it's also good for a side quest. Uh-oh. These enemies are incredibly annoying. Their moves are quite unpredictable to me too. If you scan, you'll see that there's a human inside, so you just open the door, and as part of the side quest, actually, you can help him go back to that water facility that I was just talking about. It's actually really easy, so we're going to go and do that, and it's so close.
What on earth are you doing here?
So he says that a sentinel was guiding him or escorting him. He's an engineer.
Barely managed to hide here. You already saved my life, but did you see a sentinel on your way?
No. You're the...
The thing is, he shoved me in here. I can't just leave without him.
Wait here. I'll look around.
Alright.
Thank you so much.
First thing we're going to do, though, is tag the supply camp.
If he's alive, he should be around here somewhere.
And we'll rest so that we can restore our heals. We're going to go right back up to that water facility. And all you got to do is dive in the pool. There's actually no enemies in the area. It's just more of like a puzzle. So you can obtain a collectible can. But we won't be doing that necessarily. So we're going to sprint up here. Just right where we came from. There'll be just the minor enemies that we've defeated on the way here. It's such a great way to open up, combos. He didn't do a second attack. That's weird. That was really strange.
There are no enemies nearby. Looks like a pretty good place to fish.
Oops. Now inside of this area as well, like his body is right next to an area because not only is there another side quest, there's also a chest that can only be opened down there. So
This has to be the sentinel.
there's this body you can also scan.
Lost his footing while fighting off the Nativo.
May your memories live on.
And the may your memories live on forever is kind of like a religious thing, they say. Like once someone dies, you can extract their memory stick, which is like, literally something like a USB that kind of has all your memories, your life's memories, your last thoughts, things like that. And it allows people, you can upload it to Mother Sphere and then it lives forever, right? You can move these. There's like a series of 3 of them you move, and then you get the Coke can. The soda pop. Alright, so we're going to get out of here. We'll talk to, not Go, but whoever the engineer was, and we'll let him know that Go didn't make it. Alright, let's take out these enemies. Uh-oh. That one of them went right inside. Love that AoE attack. It's a good swiping technique if it's just surrounded by more than one enemy.
We're back. Any luck finding the sentinel?
He died in battle.
I see. We both may his memories live on. Well,
See how they all say that?
Angel, feel free to use the
Okay.
and I'll get ready to head back.
I'm just gonna get some supplies here, like just materials and things like that. The SP is good. We definitely want the skill points. That's probably the most important thing you can get from completing side quests, in my opinion. Because the skill points, once you max out that tree, you become damn near invincible. Always do a scan when you're in a new area so you can make sure you collect everything, if that's what you're going for. Just by interacting with basic items, even if they don't increase your affinity with Lily, they will increase your SP, which is kind of like your experience points, if you will, because you can use them to level up your skill tree. So there's no true leveling, right, other than upgrading your equipment and unlocking abilities in your skill tree. So we're really close to Altesse Lavoir. This area is going to be blocked off, just so you know. We're going to have to go the long way, of course. But I do blink. I think there's a human on our side, so we'll just tag him real quick. That's for the extra SP. Love them skill points. But yeah, we're going to come around. Take the scenic route. Anytime you see an item that has like a star next to it, it's usually like some sort of module or like a higher quality material. So you always want to grab those. I mean, they're never so far out of your way, you know. And the exploration in this game is very rewarding. So I always encourage you guys to go out and jump across a few cliffs and see what you find. Not in real life, in the game. Oh, that was a quick one. A little quick attack, I see. We're going to use the gun. We're going to use the gun again. That's the most I've ever used it outside of combat in my like 20 hours of playing. Isn't that crazy? There we have an advanced nano element. And we're still just kind of working our way around. These guys are really annoying. Gotcha. Alright. He sees me. Those tentacles are actually pretty annoying, so you want to steer clear of them when you can. We'll heal. They have like a quick like 2-hit combo, so it's like 1 and then 2. There'll be more. You can't really see them until they come out though, unfortunately, but there's a core nearby at the very least. Break these boxes. So there's many more of those tentacles. Different variations too, but the larger ones have that 2-hit combo. The smaller ones have much less health, but they attack a lot faster. So this is going to increase our maximum health. This is fantastic. Any increase to health or beta cells is going to be huge for me, because if I'm not doing side quests, I'll need to do some exploration like so that's not going to deviate me so far from the primary objective, but enough to, you know, make sure I survive. So remember I mentioned that Rael was really one of my favorite characters. She was a royal guard that was at the entrance of the presence chamber where Oracle was. And this time we're going to see someone that looks just like her, one of her sisters.
I can see the entrance to Altus look.
Actually, don't I have skill points?
Going to need a security code?
We don't need a security code, we just need our mitts. This is what I want. Thank you. I need that.
Getting ourselves inside might prove to be a bit of a challenge.
Oh,
Find out.
I guess I could heal, huh? I'm not really gonna... What I'm gonna... Any boss I fight, just for my own edification, is I'm gonna make sure that I practice getting the parries down. So I want to show you guys the retribution. So you guys get to see a cool retribution, and I get practice. So
Halt, outsider.
this is Kiel or Kiel, I don't remember.
Who are you?
I'm Royal Guard Kriel. I'm under direct orders from Oracle to protect the ruins.
The ruins that he sent us to.
Do you know this is a restricted area?
Yes.
Wait, but we are here to do a favor for Oracle?
Even so, I can't let anyone in who isn't qualified.
Qualified.
If you manage to defeat me, I'll let you pass.
Fine.
Well, if that's the case,
I'll indulge you. Alright, here goes. Okay, timing sucked on that one, but I remember her combo now a little bit. Got it. Now we're gonna go crazy on her. Not gonna give her a chance to breathe. There. Yay. That was easy. But it was easier than I thought, at least to get the retribution. I've done it before. I just wanted to do it on this playthrough.
Ability to fight on equal footing with the Alpha Natiba. It was an honor to spar with you.
Nice.
We can enter now, right?
She's like, no.
Alta's war has been contaminated by Natibas for a long time. No one has ever made it back alive.
And that's why she guards it.
I have hope.
And she makes sure that we have enough skill to actually survive that encounter. So, again, one of my favorite characters, or at least the whole series of those sisters are really cool. But anyways, I think that is an excellent stopping point. What we're going to do is I'm going to actually get back to this save point here, and we're going to end the stream here. We're going to pick it up right where we left off tomorrow with Altes Lavar. And other than that, if you guys are still interested in looking to see, more content like this, I will continue doing the challenge run, and most importantly, if you're interested in seeing the story, I have a story explained on my main channel, which of course is in the description of this video and all over my channel, so it's not too hard to find. Anyways, hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and until next time, it's